This is Amy, and I am trying a different camera for this week's St. Patrick's Day uh, edition of Ask Amy Anything. This week, I am going to do all my questions on Thursday because, well, it's Thursday. So I'm just going to start right off with basically Ask Amy Anything is me answering questions about being a trans woman, and you get to ask me anything. I answer with my own answers based on being trans and some of the experiences of some of the friends that I've got in my close circle. I believe that education breeds acceptance, so by doing this, I put a forum out there for people to get a chance to ask those questions that maybe Google or Yahoo or other search engines have a harder time coming up with more definitive answers. My answers are my own answers and based specifically on my feelings and not anybody else's. And that's important because I don't want to be speaking for the whole community. I'm just speaking from my experiences within it. So, all of my questions on Thursdays are generally asked on my Facebook page or in special private messages. Um, and so here goes. I'm going to start with, let's see, just starting at the top of my list. Ellen asked, are you ever pleasantly surprised of how someone interacts with you? And do you find yourself accidentally judging someone first because you think that they are looking at you in a judgmental way, but when they're actually turning out to be awesome? Um, there was a Key and Peele where they talk about old white people's responses to their comedy, and they were always pleasantly surprised when they got their approval or flat out not caring, as opposed to the racist remarks they would sometimes get. So, Ellen, to answer your question, I think we do it all the time. I live a lot of my time always projecting my fears onto other people. I spend a lot of my time thinking that people already are going to hate me, so I try extra hard to be extra nice and things, especially when I'm at work. Um, there are lots and lots of people out there that I just completely shocked by. My grandfather, I thought he would be old and in his ways and things of that sort, and he came back and told my parents that he thought that he kind of understood based on reading a magazine article about it. And I mean, it just little things like that. People at work, there's a person who I thought would just completely trash me because there's this ultra very right-wing conservative Christian person, and there's nothing wrong with those things, but they get a bad rap as to all being judgmental heartless people when it comes to not agreeing with them. And this particular person at work came right in and embraced me, and it was like, oh, that's great. Day one, he's talking about how, you know, government's going to hell in a handbasket, and the next day he's being nice to me. Another person I thought would be very judgmental found out that her husband was bisexual and they had an open relationship. I'm like, wow, I mean, just things you don't expect this stuff. So um, all in all, it's, yeah, there are lots of surprises out there. And that's good. I mean, there's lots of people that I write about, but I think I put my fear on people far more than people actually fear me, and that's a good thing. So, um, let's see. The next one. Emily asks, what kind of products do I use in my hair? Shampoo and conditioner, lots of it. Um, that's about it. I've got a coconut oil that I use when I'm done to kind of try to make it easier to dry and brush. It's sort of an after shower conditioner product. I don't do a whole lot with my hair. I'm still learning about hair and I'm growing it out. My hairdresser and I have got this great style planned, but my hair is taking forever to grow. I do take biotin. I don't know if this is bad to do on yacht or YouTube or not, but I do this product and it has for hair, skin, and nails. And I tell you what, I have this patch of dry skin here on my hand, and at one point this was like a good quarter of an inch scab of dryness and flakiness, and I took all sorts of prescription meds and everything for it, and nothing seemed to make it work. I tried to steroid creams and pills and everything they would give me. Nothing seemed to work for my dermatologist. I started taking my hormones and biotin, and it's gone. I mean, it's really, this is, oh my gosh. Um, I, I had so many customers all the time thinking I was been burnt or some nasty fire that had just scarred up my hand, and it's just completely gone. So I think the mixture of the hormones changing the makeup of my skin and the biotin being a vitamin strictly for it they help, and also biotin is supposed to help with hair growth. My hair is getting longer. It's definitely getting thicker, and it was thick before, but I mean, I can touch my shoulders with it now. And I mean, this is definitely the longest it's ever been, minus when I was in 5th grade and I had a ducktail down to my waist. My hair grew fast then, go figure. I guess that's what, growing up does and your body's changing like that. This is a lot slower, but it'll get there. And in the meantime, I'll be me. All right, next question. I asked this from Elise asks, I ask this because sometimes I want to. Do you ever just get the sickening feeling not to be yourself and be what other people want because it's just easier? That would be the first 35 years of my life. I spent most of my life in hiding. I spent most of my time not letting people know. Little by little over the last decade, I let people into my world, and I let them get glimpses of who I am. But now that I get to be who I am, yeah, I don't even remotely think about going back or pretending to be someone else. There are times when I think, oh, if I just sneak in the men's room real quick, it'll be quick and easy. I can get in and out and stuff. But then I feel like that hurts more, actually, to lie about who I am and to not be faithful to who I am. To me, is more painful than being true to who I am. Last week, I had a situation where I had to go to a very dangerous part of town, and I felt as a trans woman, if I was ID'd, I would be severely hurt or killed. And it was that scary to me. It may have been unwarranted, but I was told by lots of people that's a very bad part of town. And so I did something I didn't feel proud of. I wore my sweatshirt, but I brushed my hair back. I took off all my makeup. I tried to look as manly as possible, and I don't even do a fake guy anywhere very well. I mean, I used to wear a costume for men very well. I don't do it. I can't pretend anymore. And I hated myself for it. I had to do it. I entered this place and I saw a guy holding a baseball bat, slapping it against his hand, staring at me as I entered. I don't feel for a second that I would have been safe there if they'd saw me in a dress and my wonderful glory, fabulousness. But truthfully, had I not been going there for a friend, I would have never gone there. I would have avoided the place because I try to go places where I feel like I'm going to be safe. I mean, I have to be smart. There's a lot of people out there wanting to hurt people like me. I need to make sure that I'm not putting myself in situations easily allowing that kind of stuff to happen. It doesn't mean it can't happen. There's always a chance it could happen anywhere, but I don't have to go looking for it either. Then Emily asks, is it normal for trans women who are, say, 13 months on HRT to pee themselves a little when they cough asking for a friend? It's muscle control, sweetie. If your friend has an issue, then yeah, I mean, there are times when, you sit to pee and then you stand up and then all of a sudden, you release a little more. It's just, it's muscle control. It's not, probably nothing to worry about. If it's something that happens all of the time, I would talk to your doctor. When I was a kid, I had my kidneys checked to make sure they were functioning properly, and they ran dye through me, and I had to wait, and then I had to pee the dye out, and then they measured, and everything was like, okay, everything's good. But so I've gone through the process of getting things like that checked, because when I was younger, sometimes it was a little difficult to control it, but I'm not really an issue now. But I mean, even now, when I have to go, I have to go. So, I mean, like I said, this is Ask Amy Anything. I will answer anything, even if it's about me going pee. That's pretty much all of the questions I've got for this week's Ask Amy Anything. If you have any more questions or anything, or let me know how this video works, please leave me some comments down below. I don't know where the camera is. Yeah, down below. I see all these people in these YouTube videos, and it's always so crisp and stuff, and I'm such an amateur. But it's not about production value. I want to help. So if you know anybody who has any questions, or any trans women or LGBT people or anything, trans men, trans people, by gender, agender, gender neutral, non-gender, any of that. If you know people, treat them like people. I love you all. Thank you very much. And that's for my friend Rissa. And I will see you all next week on Ask Amy Anything.